I apologize for starting the show late. I had a lot going on, but welcome to Football Focus Weekly. Sit back, relax. It's week one. Finally here. Thank goodness, because I was tired of doing rankings and getting fussed at on social media. And Friday night, you got some of that too. So,
trust me, I get it every year, baby. I'm used to it.
Let's go.
Well, rule number one, for as long as I have been able to drive a car, I'm getting pretty old, has been never pass a Bojangles without stopping to get something to eat.
I'm slamming the adult league referee.
God, oh.
Well, dang, I mean, y'all just took my slime, because I was going to slime Coach Dillon. Because let me tell y'all about this cat.
Well, I think I got to go with sliming who's ever running these stupid robo-dollars and group callers.
Man, let's go. It's week one. We are fired up. We are ready to go. I did research. I got pages of notes. This is going to be the best dang season opening Football Focus Weekly we ever had. And we've been around for 5 seasons. And I'm going to tell you right now, this show is dedicated to high school football. You might see other shows talk about other stuff, but this one's talking about high school football 100% all the time. Family. And it's also a family. That's right.
What it do, Org?
Thanks for watching. We also got a couple people here with us, of course. The engine.
What's up, man? How are y'all?
Right. That's right. The pioneer of hype videos.
You know, I mean, someone's got to take the credit for all the videos you see today, man. I'm just appreciative that it was my guys that set the tone for it.
That's right. That's right. Friday night.
What up, everybody? What it do, baby?
What's up, man?
Ready for week one, man.
More than ready. More than ready. Scott Marquez. That's what I'm talking about, man. Look, I turned my dang on camera off. I hit it so hard.
What he turned his camera off. That's what I'm talking about, Pep.
What is going on?
The Pep is coming out.
I went to my backup camera. I think I broke my camera. Oh my gosh. What in the world is going on? Zoom and Zoom back. Yeah, I saw your tweet, man. That's interesting. That's very interesting.
The newest member of the Laying Tree Charter School staff right there, my dude Zoom.
Congratulations. Awesome.
Yeah, what is up with all the, because all the games up here are starting at 7 o'clock now. What is up with that now?
Well, I mean, it in theory it prevents, more trouble from happening. But we'll talk about that.
Okay.
As the show comes on. Karen Belk, yeah, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Good, glad to
What's
have
up,
you.
Karen?
All right, and then Mizzle,
my dude.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so I'm gonna put you guys backstage because it's time to talk about some kids. We had a lot of kids do a lot of great things in jamborees and scrimmages this past week, and we're gonna highlight some of those kids right now. This will be our normal players of the game segment, and it is presented by no one. This was sponsored last year, but right now it is not sponsored. So if you want name recognition, because this segment is very popular, we tag a lot of people, we tag a lot of players, a lot of teams. If you want name recognition with high school football all across the state of North Carolina, feel free to reach out to us. We'll set you up a sponsorship. It's not very expensive. It helps get your brand out there in your business or whatever it is you want to promote. So that being said, we got a lot of kids. So first of all, from the CFI Classic Jamboree, we're going to fly through this. So Mason Chastain for Bessemer City played offense and defense, linebacker and running back. He was impressive on both sides of the ball in their victory over Hickory Grove. But Hickory Grove had Anthony Hawkins, was a very good athlete at the running back position. He had a ton of yards last season, a lot of touchdowns. He's going to do great once again this year, a junior for Hickory Grove down in there. Division II of NCISAA. Barry Tanner Bushy, quarterback. He was not there last year. He came from Vermont, where he was a first-team All-State quarterback. He was very impressive. He took a couple big hits early in the scrimmage and came back and threw 2 touchdown passes in their victory. A.J. Jenkins for Harding. I wrote about him on Prep Red Zone, one of the best running backs in the CMS Best Series that I'm doing right now. He played all kinds of positions. He played quarterback, he played running back, he played receiver, he played DB, corner, and safety. I'm sure he'll be in kick return. He's got a couple of offers. He showed really good agility with the ball in his hands, and when Harding moved the ball, he was the reason why. Charles House, big-time D-line recruit for North Met. I felt like he flashed a few times against double teams, increased attention from a very good West Forsyth offensive line. On the flip side of that, Desmond Jackson, left tackle for West Forsyth, committed to North Carolina. He helped lead a strong performance for that Titans offensive line overall. They were very impressive in the run game. They played their 4th and 5th running backs due to some bumps and bruises to their main guys. And in the passing game, it was even more impressive. Their quarterback had 4 and 5 seconds to go through his progressions, throw the football. A really strong performance by the Titans there. Karan Gray for Rocky River. He had a pick 6 at the DB spot that gave Rocky River the lead for the majority of that scrimmage. He's going to be one of their standout players, not only on defense, but on offense as well, running the football. And then Quinn Mushington, receiver from Parkwood, he caught the game-winning touchdown pass near the end of that scrimmage for the Wolfpack, giving them that 7-6 win over Rocky River in that matchup. So let's jump to some more kids. I asked on Twitter who had some really strong performances in their scrimmages, and the next 2 slides are about those kids. So this one was very, very impressive. Colby Little, quarterback from Wilmington Laney out on the coast, 283 passing yards and 4 touchdowns and 1/2 in a scrimmage. You don't see those kind of numbers hardly for a game. In a scrimmage, that's pretty dang on impressive. Class of 2025 player, 5'11", 175 pounds. Linebacker Jason Melton going to be a big key to the Kings Mountain defense this year. 10 total tackles and 2 tackles for loss in their scrimmage. Wide receiver Brian Crowder for Independence. We're going to be talking about the Patriots later on as they have a big game tomorrow night. He had an impressive catch. If you saw it on social media, you know what I'm talking about. And an overall performance against Gaffney, very good opponent. The Patriots showed well down there in South Carolina. Linebacker Michael Griffin. I was told by several Chambers coaches when I asked for class of 2027 players, this name kept coming up, and he showed already. He had a great one-handed interception against the Stallions in South Point in the Chambers victory in that scrimmage. And when I saw Dre Cannon, their defensive coordinator, shout him out, I know he's legit. Because, Coach Cannon just doesn't do that. So he's going to be a young man we're going to get to know for the next few years. Athlete Reggie Daniel from Mountain Island, a really, really talented player, maybe the most talented player that you don't know. 75-yard TD catch, and he had multiple big tackles in Mountain Island's scrimmage against Ashbrook, where they showed very well. They only lost by 1. to a team that's expected to do some things this year. DB Xavier McIntyre from Huffy tagged me in his highlights. Very talented young man committed to Coastal Carolina. He had several pass breakups and an interception against Mooresville, their rival in the scrimmage this past week. And then athlete Saxon Jenkins from Cox Mill. He showed his physicality on defense with an impressive tackle. A lot of us know him as a really, really strong receiver, but he really, showed well. Coming up, filling the alley, looks like from the safety position, and did a really good job. So that's something to really keep an eye out on as Cox Mill takes on Weddington tomorrow down at Memorial Stadium. All right, wide receiver Colin Reese from Cannon. We know him. He's been to our camps, and he's got a couple offers, 3 catches for 105 yards, and a touchdown and 1/2 against South Point, North Carolina. Really, really good showing there. South Point's a really good team. Running back Simon Sadler, he tagged me in his highlights on Twitter. He had his incredible agility and footwork in avoiding tackles. I mean, it was something crazy. I made the comment that he can make somebody miss in a phone booth when we used to have phone booths. So I forgot that's not really relevant to these kids. So that's all good. Quarterback Jackson Hill from Forest, we had 185 passing yards and 2 touchdowns and 1/2 of action. Really glad to see that. Forest, we kind of opening up the offense with his talents this season. Running back Christian Rutledge, somebody we've highlighted before from Southview down in Fayetteville. Yeah, an impressive 65-yard TD run. It really showed his electric speed in the open field. He's got some shape to his game as well. Really fun player to watch. Another fun player to watch, running back Curtis Clark from Mallard Creek. I've seen him covering the JV games of the week the past couple years. Really, really impressive player. Big reason why Mallard Creek has one of the best JV programs in probably the state, to be honest with you. He showed great agility and speed and breaking for a big TD run that was captured by Game of Inches, who does a great job with media in the 336 area in the state. I had to throw in this young man, wide receiver Jaden McKinnon from Berry, 2 touchdown catches, and he showed some really good speed and route running in the jamboree that we were at, our jamboree on Friday. Offensive lineman Jorquise Broom. He's a sophomore, 6'3", 320 pounds. Put that on your radars, college coaches. Nasty run blocking. He's playing to the echo of the whistle. He's going to be a really big-time recruit. Another one, defensive lineman Camden Gillespie of Mooresville, came over from Huff. Chat administrator tagged me in his highlights, and he's impressive. I talked to somebody today who said he's going to be, one of the next big D linemen from the Charlotte metro area. Great block shed in the run game. He has great get off in his pass rush as well. And then finally, quarterback Jared Street from West Cabarrus. Really impressive. Great pocket presence and accuracy and ball placement on all his throws that he put out there on film. So some really good players right there. We got a couple of comments right here. So Yasmin says Michael Griffin, a.k.a. Bug. Okay. All right. We'll call him Bug Griffin. I like that. I like a little nickname. That's all right there. And then Zoom coming in. Shout out to the Huff D. They have some great rush on their D-line, and Mooresville D was impressive as well. They had a sack fumble versus Huff. Yeah, we'll talk about Mooresville here in just a little bit, as they've got a big game going up to Davie County this Friday night. That being said, now it is that time for a special segment led by someone that's not me. I even got a little thing for you right there. Engine.
All right, so new segment. We started it last week. It's 4th down. It's 4th and 1. You're the offensive coordinator. You're trying to convince your head coach to go for it or to punt it. 3 scenarios, a national, a more regional, and a local scenario. So the first question. So Matt Rule, Frank Reich, Teddy Bridgewater, Bryce Young. Are the Panthers in for another long season this year? What say you, Pet Man?
Well, there's a lot of people panicking right now because of what we did or what we didn't do on Saturday. But I don't think so. I don't think we're in for a long season. I mean, there's still reason to be optimistic, even though the offensive line did not play very well. I feel like we're gonna be all right. Coach Wright says he's holding stuff back, so I feel like Friday night when they play the Giants, they're not gonna hold as much back. I just have a funny feeling about that.
Yeah, can I
I
just
think we'll
say
be
when
okay.
I saw Michael Jordan's big old butt go trotting out there, I started screaming, why is he still on the Panthers team? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think he could start for West Forsyth's offensive line right now. I don't even know. Friday night, man, us Panther fans, we got a long season ahead.
Pretty much.
God.
You don't get that line right. Yeah, y'all in for a long season, man. And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah,
Everything starts in the trenches, baby.
we got a punt on this one. It's gonna be a long season for us Panthers fans. God, no. Yeah, a lot of national heads are starting to finally take notice about a dude that we've been talking about for years and years and years. Of course, we're talking about former Myers Park standout quarterback Drake May for the UNC Tar Heels. Drake May will be a finalist for the Heisman Trophy this year. Friday night, what you think?
I can go with that. I can roll with that. He puts up impressive numbers week in and week out. He keeps the team in there in every game despite the inconsistency of their defense. So, and I think this year with a year experience and with more players coming on defense, even though I'm a Florida State fan, I feel he'll be a finalist in New York at the end of the season.
It was almost going to be Florida State is ranked top 10. Florida State will be nowhere near the top 10 at the end of the season, but I'm glad I know that now Friday night. That's coming later on. Pep, what do you think, man?
Gotcha.
We're going to see Drake May dressed up on ESPN?
I'm gonna huddle up on this one. I'm gonna go a step further and say North Carolina's gonna be in the ACC championship game for the second year in a row.
Will they be playing my Seminoles then?
I'm going for it too, man, because I believe that UNC finally is going to get their act together. Their defense is finally going to get their act together. They got Coach Chizek, who's finally going to figure out how to get those guys playing hard. They've got the best quarterback in the nation. They've got a strong tight end. Their offensive line's better. Their defensive skill players are extremely well. They're led by a whole bunch of 704 guys. So I'm with you on that one. Last one, so more local. I'm staying here in my county today. A.L. Brown, star-studded cast. I mean, their offense is loaded for new coach Justin Harden. A.L. Brown returns to prominence this year. They win 10 football games. They make a run into the playoffs Friday night. What you think about them little wonders, man?
I agree. Not saying they'll win a state championship, but I think they'll be back to being consistently one of the top teams in the state, like they once were when I was younger in high school. I feel the Wonders will be back this year.
Pep, what do you think?
Wow, I'm punting on that one. I'm punting on that one. They're in the Greater Metro 4. We saw the Greater Metro 4 last year. They pretty much beat up on each other, and Mooresville ended up winning it. I think it's going to take a little time, but I will say they got some good coaches back in that program, including the strength coach and Hagler, who was a legend. He's going to help build that program back up to where it used to be, but not quite yet. But I think they are a playoff team, though.
Ooh, Pep, I want to know how anybody is going to stop them. I know it will come as a surprise for anyone who knows me, because God knows I have helped A.L. Brown win a whole bunch of football games the last couple of years with just my voice on this show. That's how we became the most influential prep football show on the internet. A.L. Brown is going to have a big year this year. Watch out.
Coach Dub.
What's up, fellas?
What it do, Coach?
Man, not much. It's go time. Week 1.
Woo, y'all were close, brother.
Let's get it. You see my prediction?
Wait.
Okay.
Oh.
In due time. Kenneth, you want to ask Coach Dub that last one?
Ooh, Coach Dub, man. So we just did our punt or huddle up segment, and we talked about how A.L. Brown has a star-studded cast coming back. I mean, offense is loaded everywhere. Big offensive linemen. They got dudes on defense. Brand new coach to Kannapolis. Former Wonder Great Justin Harden's there. And I said, the Wonders make a run this year. They win 10 football games. What do you think, Coach? You huddling up or are you punting that, man?
I'm going to huddle up on that. I think that the culture that was set with obviously Coach Newsom, it was unmatched. People that know Coach Newsom knows, right? I always say I unofficially came from his coaching tree. Coach has been a huge part of my life and my brother's life. So everything we are as coaches, we got a lot of that from Coach Newsom. So I understand the culture that he sets. And if you're not familiar with A.L. Brown or familiar with Coach Newsom, it goes unnoticed a lot of times. So I think he has that culture established, and then he's also hired the new coach, Coach Harden, is a phenomenal coach within his own right. He's built that Charlotte Latin program, and I mean, you've seen the tree that he comes from. It speaks for itself. Harding, the Harden name is football royalty. So
got a new stadium, new track. Those people up there are going to be fired up. The K Electric up there on the perch is going to be buzzing. I agree with you, Coach. There's going to be a lot of cannon shots being fired this year.
Yeah, Coach Harden has done more with less in the past at previous situations. So now he has the resources. He has a football town. You know, he has a football community. It's going to be interesting to see. So don't underestimate what they do. So I'm definitely huddling for that.
So, Coach Dub, you want to talk about some kids that were impressive? I just did the player segment, but I know you had a few guys that stood out in your jamboree or your scrimmage. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we Gaston County Jamboree. We end up playing Ashbrook, and you know, obviously, I know Ashbrook is expected to really do some work in Gaston County in that big South, which is one of the most slept on conferences. Great talent, you know, with a lot of great teams coming out of that. So Ashbrook is expected to do great. We end up scrimmaging them on Friday, and they scored twice and we scored twice. So it was a great performance by both sides of the ball. I think that definitely both teams, we gained each other respect, and it was a hard fought game for sure.
Absolutely. Now I want to share something that, you know, I was tagged in, and I'd like to address it if I can get it on the screen here. Just bear with me 1 second here. I'm kind of doing this on the fly. It was not.
It wasn't a woman looking out for Friday night, was it?
Uh-oh.
You know,
Friday
Twitter
night.
is a buzz. All these women, where's Friday night on Twitter? And I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, man. So we have, and I'm going to make it bigger. We had a lot of predictions here from Friday Night Fowler, who brought this up and reminded me that he made these predictions. And y'all see that?
Yep, I can see it.
Okay. All right. So Friday night, tell everybody what your record is on these predictions, man, overall. Because I think it's down here at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
1,885 and 400.
And 26 and 6 in state championship predictions.
That's a great percentage there.
Ain't no other show got Friday night on their show. I can promise you that.
Nobody.
So we're going to do our predictions like we always do at the end. But if you guys want to keep up with, do you just put them on Facebook Friday night?
Yeah, just put them on there. I believe it was Sunday night, early Monday morning.
Okay. So y'all make sure y'all go check him out. So you see his name right there on Facebook. If you want to follow him, you can go on there, and he's got all his predictions right here. Now, Which one were you talking about earlier Friday night?
You know what? I didn't forgot, Pep. Dang. I was gonna ask Coach Washington D.C. My pick for his team.
Well, let's find it here. Is it towards the bottom? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
41-7. Right there.
Oh wow, that's
How you
a lot.
feel about that?
You know what? We're gonna take it a quarter at a time. That's all we're gonna do. I mean, the Kabir Stallions. They got a physical team, man. Like
Good people.
Yeah, really good people. Good program. One of the most solid homeschool teams that do it the right way. Is gonna play legit. And they've been around for a long time. Coach Aaron and I know Coach, I think it's Pringle over there. That's the recruiting coordinator. I mean, they do a phenomenal job. They're active on social media. They market their boys. They make them go out to camps and stuff like that. So we're definitely not sleeping on Kabir Stallions. Trust me, we're not. We know that they got some boys that can play over there, and we got to come with our A game. So we're gonna just take it a quarter at a time. But I appreciate your faith in us, Jamal. Now I want to talk about something before we get into that Carver score.
What's up?
Okay, you got it's 20-18, right? Northmore.
Yeah.
All right. So is that a motivational pick to kind of get them motivated, or do you really believe that?
Well, I believe even though Carver's better, Northmore has been, kind of up there the past couple of years, and the Yellow Jackets are still young, put it that way. So even though they're playing at home and they're better, at this year I still am taking Northmore. Now by this time next year, depending on what happened with Carver, I'll pick the Yellow Jackets. But right now, even though I am their PA announcer, I'm and trust me, I'll go hear about this Friday. So
Ain't no chicken wings in that press box for you Friday night this week.
No, I'm telling you, I know what he's doing. They got listen.
No, I'm not doing that. Cause real talk, man.
No, they got one of the best young running backs in the entire state, and Jamal knows that. This kid can absolutely play, and
I mean,
they
go ahead. Go ahead.
They're gonna have to stop him. That kid is great. That's why I talked to you. I thought he was a senior. He was like, he's coming back. I was like, what?
He got 3 more years.
Yeah, he fit.
But Coach Washington, you're a coach and you played. To develop a winning attitude, you have to continue to do that over time. Granted, they played well as freshmen. Most of them are sophomores this year. They still have to learn how to win. Last year, they got blown out by Northmore. This year they're playing at home, so it should be a closer game. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still gonna take Northmore in this situation. Now, if Carver pull it out, great. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I can't put my feelings on it.
Here's what I want to do. Somebody tag Carver and Northmore so they know that we're talking about them. That was not on the agenda, but that is,
we went off the grid.
I
want to say this before we go. What's the young man's name? Jamal?
Sanders, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Last name Sanders.
Hey, he gonna go for 150. I'm calling it. He put Carver
I
on his
wouldn't
back.
doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
If that young man can hear me, hey, put your team on your back. Watch what I tell you. All right, I'm good.
I'm hoping it happens, Coach.
Producer, welcome to the show.
So I'm gonna get you.
All right. So,
Man.
quick review on what our rankings are. So, Friday night, these are your top 10 4A rankings. Do you feel like they're still good?
Yeah.
Okay. We
But
had
like
some
I said,
scrimmages now. We had some scrimmages. We had some jamborees.
I understand, but the real game start Friday night,
Right,
and we'll find out after Friday night what the deal is.
All right. He said 4A is good. Y'all agree? 4A is still good?
I agree with it.
All right. 3A. You want to make any changes?
What I've been hearing about Dudley, I might have to slide them D boys down a little bit.
Uh-oh.
They start slowed up.
I'm hearing they have a little issues on the interior.
I heard
what I'm hearing though.
I did hear about Crest having some. Now, here's the thing. To the naked eye, you can say there's people having issues. But we saw it Friday at our jamboree. Wes Forsyth was rotating a lot of people in, especially on defense. So you got to take these things with some context. Now,
And
is
nobody
it late
shows
in the
their
scrimmage?
And nobody shows their whole hand at a scrimmage anyway either.
Well, that's true too. So we get reports about certain things, and people say this and say that. But when
There's
did it
also
happen?
some gamesmanship that goes on too, Pep. I mean, going back, to Coach Newsom, for example. When Coach Newsom was at Butler, we always played them week 2, which was our game 2, his week 1, because he had game 1 because he had a first round bye.
Mm-hmm.
He would send us a scrimmage with guys wearing different colored practice jerseys that they ain't got the same numbers on. We're sending him game jersey film from a game.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of coaches who they know that they're going to send the scrimmage from Friday night to their first week opponent. So they get all their work in Wednesday scrimmage.
Yep.
They let their seconds and their thirds play on Friday night, or they play a different position on Friday night. They put their guards at tackles. They put their defensive ends at nose, whatever. It's some gamesmanship that goes on there. So people get all worked up about scrimmage. Now I'm gonna get worked up about the Panther scrimmage later on. But that's different.
But can I add to that, Kenny? The thing is, I want to give all the viewers an inside view from a head coaching perspective. And Kenny can vouch for it. When you got a real good team and you know you got that team and you're good, you're trying to stay healthy. You know what you got. You're not trying to go into a jamboree and win a jamboree, right? You know exactly what you got. All you're trying to do is just try to fill out if the 2s and 3s, if the backups are willing to compete. Who's your dogs? Who's the ones when my star player or my starter need a breather? Can he come there and give me some valuable rest or depth? So don't get worked up on these scrimmages or these jamborees. I'm telling you, we showed absolutely nothing. I think in our jamboree, we might have ran like maybe 5 plays.
Coach, I was talking to a head coach at our jamboree Friday night, and he said, Coach, we ran 4 plays, 2 formations, 4 plays.
Because I'm telling you, like when we play Ashbrook, I literally could have threw it to Reggie Daniels every play when they had single coverage. It'd have been a touchdown.
Okay.
I mean, you seen the clip, right?
I did. Yep.
Yeah.
I did.
So we could.
I highlighted them. Absolutely.
So we literally could have did that and scored anytime we wanted to, but that wasn't the purpose. Because I also know people are going to share the film, or it's people in there watching it. So that's another thing. So don't. Yeah, Joe said we kept it real vanilla on purpose.
I got you, Coach. I get you. I get you, buddy.
We got some comments here. I wasn't expecting comments in the segment, but hey, stuff's on the screen, so here we go. Wumpler says Crest is not number 1, and Dudley went against Huff and Tabor, who is better than all of these teams. Perspective.
Okay.
Colin Burnett, Kings Mountain has no QB. It has been subpar all preseason.
Kings Mountain, can we comment on that?
Sure.
They got that Armstrong kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I saw Jaden Gash making several catches too. So somebody threw him the ball.
No,
they got a pretty bright offensive coordinator too, and Jamie Bolton.
Yeah, that seems to be a popular look. Lunkler says the same thing. Kings might not have a QB.
They don't sleep on that Armstrong kid.
Wow.
I mean, it's like I said when we made the original rankings, all this is gonna change. You know what I'm saying? These just preseason, so none of this is gonna change.
You stand on what you put. Stand on it.
Consistent disrespect of East Lincoln Friday night, Fowler. Well.
My bad, Burnett. I keep forgetting about East Lincoln. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
They're pretty good.
No, they are. They are. You're right.
But are they West Charlotte good?
I mean, they played in the state championship last year, didn't they?
They lost a lot too.
They did. All right, 2A. Friday night, you still feel good about 2A?
Facts.
I still think Clinton's up there.
Clinton is definitely up there.
Reeville's my pick to win it all in 2A. So
some advice from there. I like that fluid rankings. Fluid rankings.
appreciate you, Joe. Appreciate you, bro.
Gonna look a lot
Oh,
different by the end of the
prolific.
season. They'll look a lot different.
Reedsville fan, Green-Eyed Bandit Canada. Oh,
What's going on, man? Georgia live the other night, brother.
You know him?
Well, he went live when Reeville played East Forsyth the other night.
Oh, okay. Now that's dedication. That's dedication. Must have that unlimited data plan to go live. That's all right. Okay. Does everybody have that now, or is it?
I didn't think no one still had limited data, but
Oh, I mean, you never know, man.
it might be some cheap option with limited data. Probably is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Boost
T-Mobile
Mobile
has unlimited data.
Let me say this about these rankings, these 2A. Don't sleep on Burns.
That's true.
Agreed. I heard. Well, once again, they looked very impressive in the Cleveland County Jamboree.
Well, they went to Gaston and they beat was it Stuart Kramer with their 2s and 3s.
That's
and
impressive.
They handled them.
That's impressive. So Friday night he's going live this week as well. So I guess you can check that out in the press box.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what's up. If my boy Sam is scoring 3 or 4 touchdowns like Washington say he will. So
thank you, Mizzle. I appreciate that. You never know, man. You never know. Derek Howell, Burns is higher than Shelby. I had him higher in the conference prediction. So, Derek, I agree with you. But, these are Friday nights rankings. That's what it says, Friday night. Yeah.
Hey, Pep, that's my lawyer right there. Shout out to Derek Howell.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, shout out to Derek. Yeah, I might need some pro bono stuff, man.
Yeah, Attorney General.
Oh.
And some sponsorships.
Thank you. Let's see. Wunker says Burns is going to beat Crest week 2.
Okay.
Interesting. Little foreshadowing the next week. All right, Friday night. 1A. Still good?
Still good. I might have to put Mount Heritage up there somewhere, but everything else is pretty straight.
Okay. Where's Mountain Heritage? In the mountains, I guess?
Somewhere up around the Boone area.
Somewhere.
Up around the Boone area.
My daughter said the beach.
They're around the Boone, man.
All right. Went too fast there. So for me, the Dirty Dozen, I will tell you right now, this will change. I have gotten much hate from the university area of Charlotte. Both Chambers and Mallard Creek have expressed their concern with their absence, and I literally had them as I didn't have enough room to do. I usually do the edge part of the poll, but I didn't have room. But they would have been the first 2 teams on the edge. So Chambers doesn't play this week, so by default, and by them earning it, before I get in trouble, they will be in the Dirty Dozen next week. I'll tell you that now. And then a couple of these teams are playing each other, so of course this is going to be much different coming up next week for sure. And then in the best of last, I don't know. I don't really know if anything really changed here. So once again, we talk about scrimmages. Palisades beat Monroe 10-7 in a scrimmage. Now
hold on, Pat. Now you watched Philip O'Berry play pretty stinking good Friday night.
Well, I was getting to that. That was gonna be my next point, but yeah, that'll change. That'll definitely change as well. But yeah, Barry was impressive. Palisades, playing, that way against Monroe was impressive. Providence played pretty good as well against I forget who they played. They were in South Carolina. But they won their scrimmage 14-0. And the impressive part of that is their defense playing well. Chat administrator is here. He was at that scrimmage at Palisade. Looked pretty good as Monroe. Really good size on the lines. Yeah, they are really big. They really are. They put in some work in the weight room for sure. And also, that's good, chat administrator. You gave your roommate the smoke on the hardwood. Okay. I didn't know. You were a baller, man. It's all right. It's week one. It's week one. Oh, Colin Burnett says Providence QB looks good and has a great ball. Yeah, Jackson. Yeah, he's gonna be a big time. Well, he's already a big time recruit, for sure. Okay, so now it's time for week one, and we got to get into it. We got to do our analysis, the best analysis around. Week one game previews across the state, sponsored by nobody. If you want to be a sponsor, the opportunity is there, man, for sure. We're going to start in the 336 because we got Friday Night Fowler, the king of the 336. Grimsley at Mount Tabor. There's been a lot of discussion about this game. Friday night, what say you about Grimsley at Mount Tabor?
Well, I got Grimsley 28, Mount Tabor 21.
Wow. Okay, why is that?
Well, I believe Grimsley brings back a lot of firepower on offense. Might need a little defense, the defensive help, which will help Mount Tabor out getting to break in their quarterback. I just believe Grimsley has too much offensively for Mount Tabor at this time, which is why I picked the Whirlies to win 28-21.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Grimsley, you mentioned their offense. They got wide receiver Alex Taylor committed to North Carolina. Great dynamic threat with the football in his hands. That wasn't enough. They got wide receiver Terrell Anderson on the other side, just committed to NC State. Terrell Anderson, 6'3", Alex Taylor, 6'2". Really, really athletic guys. They can win one-on-one matchups on the outside. And then running back Mitchell Summers, who was at the summer showcase, really talented running back, was one of the best ones there. He rushed for a ton of yards last season. He's not the biggest guy, but I think that works to his advantage. He's really got great vision and speed. He's a big-time threat if he gets into the open field. Now, on the flip side, Mount Tabor, two guys you really got to know. Safety Jadon Blair, highly recruited Power 5 guys, great size, 6'5", 180 pounds, flies around on the defensive side of football. Big-time player. And then athlete Shamarius Peterkin, he's also a Power 5 recruit. DB, wide receiver, gets the ball in his hands, can play some running back as well. He's going to be all over the field.
Play quarterback as well.
Plays quarterback as well? Oh, man.
Yeah. They had a quarterback issue toward the end of last season, and they put him in at quarterback, and they did pretty good up into the playoffs.
Okay. Yeah, he can go. I watch his highlights, man. Good gracious.
Oh, yeah.
But big-time speed. Really love the way he high points the football on both offense and defense. Like, I mean, he plays DB. His safety, he comes off the hash, man. It's impressive. It's really good stuff right there.
He's probably the best athlete in the city.
Hey, he looks like it. He looks like it. For sure. So you say Grimsley 28, Mount Tabor 21. Okay. All right. We'll see if that holds true, man. AC Reynolds coming off the mountain, going down to play West Forsyth, a team that we just saw at our CFI Classic Jamboree. Now, Kenneth, you were very impressed with West Forsyth. What really stands out about those guys?
Their offensive line, to start with, Pep. I mean, they're ginormous. They're physical. They play with their hands. They have a heavy punch. They've got good footwork. Their technique is on point. And then their quarterback, man. I don't know how he did it. He would catch the shotgun snap, and he would just stand there motionless for about 3 seconds because he had about 6 seconds to throw the ball because the offensive line was that good. And then he was just throwing lasers to his receivers. I love the way that their offense was set up. I love the way that their concepts came together, and their quarterback has a really good grasp of of what's expected. He knows where his check down receivers are. I was just really impressed with the intensity that those guys played with. They were fired up. They were playing a school from Charlotte. Everybody gets fired up to play the school from Charlotte. But West Forsyth looked really good Friday night.
Oh, yeah, I got one.
Go ahead, Friday night.
I got the Titans by 2 touchdowns. Look at my predictions. I got them 27-13.
Okay. Now, Joe Hughes, this is where I saw this, but he shared it from the Asheville paper, and they shared that their star running back, Max Guest, is out with a foot injury. And they said 2 to 4 weeks. And I made the comment, I did not know we were getting injury reports in high school now. So, Coach Washington, you got an injury report for your guys?
No.
No. They healthy.
Right.
So all coaches, please send your injury reports to Pep Man.
To me, sir, for my predictions.
Yeah. Let us know so we can get the word out on if your kids are ready to go or not. That blew my mind, man. I was like, what in the world?
Yeah, send them to everybody so you can't do what you did last year. You pick last and then say, "Oh, the starting quarterback's hurt." By the way, I remember that.
Insider information, man.
I remember that.
We ain't even got to the predictions yet. Come on.
What got Martha Stewart in trouble, Pat?
I was just about to say, you basically Martha Stewart, man.
I'm basically Martha Stewart. Oh, okay.
Martha Stewart of North Carolina football.
You're right.
Woo! Ooh, boy, it's only week 1. All right. Let's go to Morrisville. Is going on the road to take on Davie County. Now, Morrisville has a lot of, defense returning, a lot of returning players on that side of the ball, led by linebacker Caleb Edstrom, who we know very well. But they also have a lot of guys back in their secondary. Jay Wilson is a guy that really stood out. I watched his film. I thought he was a really, really good player. But they're going to have a challenge because Davie County has a all-conference running back returning in Markel Summers, who he's explosive with the football in his hands, man. And they got a big offensive line. They come off the football. They move well. Markel gets in the open field. He can go to the distance. He's 6 foot, 190 pounds. And Davie County has been known the past couple of years to have a really strong offensive team. Friday night, what's your insight on Davie County?
Oh, they always put up numbers. The problem is the defense give up numbers. Mm-hmm. So I got Mooresville 35, Davie County 28.
Ooh, shootout.
Yeah. It seems like whenever they play each other, it's always a shootout. But based on what Mooresville did last year and what they got returning, I'm going to take Mooresville in this one because anytime you play at Davie County, it's always going to be a good game because they always play good at home. I just think Mooresville got too much. But I got Mooresville by touchdown in that game.
Chat administrator seems to disagree.
Now, does he mean in one game or the total for the season?
No, Kyle means the entire season. You know that, Brandon.
Hey, Kyle, I got y'all winning, bro. Cut me some kind of slack, brother. Come on, man.
Oh, no. And you get no slack from the Blue Devils. Trust me. We know. But all jokes aside, I would be surprised if they do give up 28. I mean, I think they're really strong, and they showed well against a very good Huff team when they scrimmaged them. They only gave up the 1 touchdown in that scrimmage. So, all right, that's the 3-3-6. We'll be doing the 3-3-6 all season long, man. So Friday night, that was good insight right there, and appreciate you getting us those scores. And then your record is really strong, so it's going to be tough for us to beat you in your predictions. But coming up, we'll have our own little prediction segment. But now we got to go to the Charlotte Metro. We got 7 games we're going to focus on here in the Charlotte Metro, starting with Independence taking on Mallard Creek tomorrow night at Memorial Stadium. All right. I'll let you guys go first. What's your first thoughts on this one?
Charlotte football's back, Pep. I mean, man, this is a huge game. You've got so many incredible players. They're back at Memorial Stadium under the lights of Uptown. Independence trying to prove that they're not just a good football team, but they're a great football team, a football team that can make a deep run into the playoffs. And Mallard Creek, who is trying to prove that we're back as well. You know, both of these coaching staffs do things the right way. Their kids play hard. You know, Pep, I told you last year when we were at the J.M. Robinson versus Independence game, one of the things that was so impressive to me about Independence is how much restraint the Independence players played with. They didn't talk junk. They weren't screaming and cussing when something bad happened. They were very poised, and that is a reflection of their head coach, of course. This is a huge game. This is what we need in Charlotte. This is what we need in week one. This game is going to be huge.
Absolutely, man. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, I was going to say you got two powerhouses trying to reestablish themselves within the Charlotte community. Because if you think about it, Independence ran pretty much the first portion of the 2000s, and then Mallard Creek took over from there. So you got two hungry coaching staffs, phenomenal coaches, also hungry programs with excellent talent on both sides of the ball that's trying to reestablish themselves in the 2020s. So this is going to be this game is just bigger than just who's the best team for this year. It's like who's the alpha dogs, right?
It is.
Yeah, chat administrator with a good comment says Indy versus Creek feels like an ESPN simulation of different dominant decades of Charlotte football.
I can understand that analogy for sure.
So players to watch. Independence, I feel like their player to watch is going to be linebacker Dallas Brandon, who is highly recruited. Coach DJ told us that, when he was on the show, he said he's going to be moving to the middle linebacker spot this year. He's got Power 5 offers, and you guys know how Mallard Creek rolls. They're going to be physical up front, and they're going to try to establish the run first and foremost. So he's going to be a big key guy in trying to shut down what Mallard Creek wants to do initially. On the flip side, I feel like the Mallard Creek key player is quarterback Evan Rambert, who we know from the HBCU showcase, who came out there and won the longest throw and the quarterback MVP award. He played in the playoffs last year with the other guys, kind of banged up and not able to play at 100%. And he's got a big-time arm. Mallard Creek has a lot of speed. I suspect that they're going to take their shots and see if they can get behind the Independence defense. And that's going to be one big key to watch. Me and the producer will be there Thursday night. I'm very excited to see this game go down. It's a lot of big-time talent, two big-time Charlotte teams going head-to-head. All right, Shelby at Kings Mountain. Of course, Big Eye Shelby would be all over this, but he's not here. They had a JV game tonight over at Mallard Creek with Independence. So when you look at this one, thoughts? I know, Coach, this is kind of your area down on the west side. What do you think about Shelby and Kings Mountain?
Shelby,
Coach.
Kings Mountain. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry, Coach Dub. My bad.
My bad. I know Big Shelby typically, or Big I, he typically, this is the thing. I think, again, you can't sleep on this matchup because if Kings Mountain go in overconfident, they got to stay hungry. They got to stay focused. They got to stay locked in. Shelby is the type of team, because the rivalry shows you this, that Shelby could come up there and upset Kings Mountain. It's times where Kings Mountain might be down and Shelby might be good. It's still going to be good games. Both programs are going to come in hungry and wanting to beat the stops out of each other. I think the last time they played, last couple of times, it's been physical altercations, not just from players but also coaches. So it's gonna be chippy. I would have to side with Kings Mountain on this just because the talent says that we should side with them, but do not sleep on Shelby. People think Shelby's down this year. They're looking at scrimmages. Shelby could easily go into that game and win that game. So if Shelby win, I wouldn't be shocked. But if I was picking right now, I have to go with Kings Mountain.
Kings Mountain as well. I picked them 30-27.
That makes sense. I agree with what he said because down for Shelby is really not all that low. You know, they have their own standards. The bar is set so high, but their down is still pretty decent. So, you know, like he said, the talent says on paper we should go with Kings Mountain, but I don't think if they win, they're not going to run away with it. You know, Shelby's always going to have, you know, somewhat of a pulse. Their down is a little different than everyone else's down.
Agreed. But I got Kings Mountain 30-27.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
A lot of comments coming in on this one. Colin, Shelby Kings Mountain winner is the first one to 20 this year.
Wow. Low scoring game.
Interesting. All right. Derek Howell, quarterback play will make the difference in the Shelby Kings Mountain matchup. Well, you know, the Kings Mountain quarterback situation has been commented on a lot. And it's going to be interesting. I think they might play more than one quarterback, to be honest with you. Let's see. Jason Kale says Kings Mountain all the way. Okay. Thank you, Jason. Joe Hughes. Interesting game. Both are breaking in new quarterbacks. Key is going to be whether Kings Mountain can control the game with its running game. That's a great segue into my players to watch. So for Kings Mountain, mine is running back Teddy Jeffries, a player that I think is really talented, and I think more people should be talking about, man. Mm-hmm. That kid with the ball in his hands can do some special things, for sure. Now, on the flip side for Shelby, I got wide receiver Isaiah Bridges, and I got him because we know Kings Mountain's strength is defense, and I don't know if Shelby is going to be able to drive the field consistently on Kings Mountain. So the big plays over the top in the passing game, Shelby's known for it. If they can hit a couple of them and put the pressure on the Kings Mountain offense, it could set up for that upset scenario that you're talking about, Coach. That's going to be an interesting game to watch for sure. I agree with Joe right there, man.
So, Pep, I wanted to just pose a question. Maybe y'all know or to the chat. So, since it keeps coming up with the Kings Mountain quarterback, is the Kings Mountain, because I haven't really seen much on him yet, just hearing things, but is the Kings Mountain quarterback just young, or is it one of those situations where you plug in a kid that probably should play another position, you just kind of convert them into quarterback? So I'm just curious, and it keeps coming up that they don't have a quarterback. I'm just
I think they do have a quarterback, you know, in my honest opinion. I mean, there was one at our HBCU showcase, and he is younger, but he looks like a good player to me.
Well, like you said, in the scrimmage, somebody was throwing the other kid the ball. So,
yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. The Armstrong kid, because that's their quarterback. Shannon, his dad. Shout out to Shannon out there. At the end of the day, that kid can play. He's played a lot of snaps. Yeah, he's a little young, but at the end of the day, he's a quarterback. He has a lot of reps. He's played for great teams. I think he's gonna do good. He got great talent around him. He'll get coached up. So. To say that they don't have a quarterback, they'll find out soon.
You got to start somewhere. Everybody was nobody until there was somebody. So,
yep. Absolutely, a lot of comments. I see the comments. You know, we've talked about it. We've touched on the 3 quarterback competition, the rotation, and quarterbacks coming from different places. The coaches will have the best decision, man. You know, like Kenneth alluded to, there is a really strong offensive coordinator down there. And I don't doubt that he's going to play to the strengths of, you know, whoever they decide. Or if they play all 3, then, you know, it is what it is. But either way, there's going to be a ton of people down there. And the cell signal gets bad. Joe has told us. So just bear with it if you're going to go out there. You know, hopefully they put a new cell tower in since last season. All right. Saturday, there's 3 games going on at Memorial Stadium. This is the middle game, Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Oh, my goodness, it's going to be hot. West Charlotte taking on Palisades. Any thoughts on that one? Because I've got a couple players to watch on both sides there.
I think Palisades is going to be super fired up because, you know, they listen to the chatter that we're pretty much anointing West Charlotte to be good. That's the assumption going in. They're going to be really good. And, you know, they hear that. So I think they're going to come in super motivated. Like you said, they only won, 1 or 2 games last year, Palisades did, but they were in every game for the most part. So that's pretty good for a first-year team. So I think they're going to be really motivated. We know West Charlotte has the talent and the guys they got coming back, but I don't think they can sleepwalk into this game against Palisades because Palisades is going to be motivated for sure. They want to establish themselves. They hear about all these other teams that we talk about. Palisades is ready to be established, so they're going to be motivated though.
Exactly. Now, there's been a lot of talk between the teams, and I think controlling your emotions early on is going to be a key in this one. The players to watch: West Charlotte quarterback Katie Smith. We've talked about West Charlotte, and we know they're going to be able to run the football. Katie Smith, athletic player. He's got offers to play DB for Power 5 schools. But if Palisade is able to shut down the run game, can West Charlotte hurt them in the passing game? I saw, some highlights when they played Concord in their scrimmage. They did, have some big passing plays against Concord, but Concord played them tough too. So on the flip side for Palisades, I think linebacker Kendrick Davis, whenever you're facing a run team like West Charlotte, they got the ability to hit athletes in the space. He is a D1 recruit at linebacker, and he's gonna have to impose his will. And now I feel like he's really motivated to be in a spotlight like this, and those guys have to let their talent show, on the big stage. Let's see, you got a couple comments here about West Charlotte and Palisades. Coach Marsh said them Lions are hungry. I'm sure they are, Coach. I'm hungry myself.
No doubt.
Different kind of hunger, though. Different kind of hunger. Derek Howell says, watch out for Q Williams. Yep. We've talked about Q a couple times on here. High football IQ and the straight dog. I was at the media day when West Charlotte spoke recently, and he spoke with such confidence. And I understand he's going to be announcing his commitment at this game. I think it's going to be at halftime or before the game. I don't remember which one it's going to be, but he's going to announce his commitment at the game. So, yeah.
At halftime. Oh.
Yeah.
And Coach, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Coach.
Now I was going to say something because Coach Howell actually coached Q because, Q came from our yeah. So, Q been with us since middle school. So, Coach Howell knows exactly how Q is. So, shout out to Q.
Absolutely. Kareem says WC will beat the wheels off of Palisades. Oh, okay. Well, all right.
Well, I'm going to tell y'all something. Don't sleep on Coach Simmons. I'm going to tell you something. Coach Simmons, for the coaches that's in the coaching community, they know. Coach Simmons has been one of the most talented assistants for years. He's been a hungry, talented assistant. Now he finally got his program. Look, you're not going to just go in there and just do him any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? His kids are going to fight for him. I have no doubt that West Charlotte will, I got them winning the game. But at the end of the day, don't think you're going to roll a Coach Simmons team. That's not going to happen.
I got Dub C 21-17 over Palisades.
That's a good score.
Okay. Close game. Yep, I got I retweeted. That was one of the highlights I was talking about. He made a big catch over the middle. Showed some good speed, good hands. Yeah, I'm following him. He's gonna be one to watch for sure. That's good shout out there, Coach. All right. The game me and producer will be at Friday night because we got tagged, so I felt special. I get tagged in many other games. West Mac is taking on Olympic in the Air Traffic Classic. It made a great graphic for this game and everything, man. Producer, since we'll be there, you got any thoughts on it?
If last year's teams are any indication, I think we'll have a really good game. West Mac, started out really good. Last year Olympic had a really good team last year. So if last year's any indication, I think we'll have a pretty good, exciting game or whatever. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. And the two guys I'm highlighting are the two linebackers that I feel like it's going to be a lower scoring game. Of course, we got B.D. Waddell coming into Western Carolina for West Mac. He's also going to play some running back on offense. And then for Olympia, we got linebacker Jerron Tosi, really talented guy. Both of them really good size, about 6'6'1", 200 pounds, physical players, tackle well in space. They fly to the football, and they're both team leaders. So you want to see some good defensive football on Friday night. I think West Mac and Olympics going to give it to us. Now, the key is going to be offensively. You got a young quarterback at West Mac who I just learned about a couple days ago when he tagged me in his highlights. But he's a freshman, but he throws it really well. I was impressed. And then the young man at Olympic, Chance Cato, 6'2", about 180 pounds, stepping in as a sophomore to lead the Trojans, on varsity. He played some JV before that. Whatever quarterback is able to protect the football, no turnovers, execute the offense, that's going to give their team, the best chance to win for sure. Friday night, did you do a prediction on this one?
I did. I got Olympic 23, West Mac 13.
Okay. I think that could be, accurate. But I will tell you this. West Mac is a team that has been growing, and they've been building for this year. These guys have grown up together. Coach Dub, West Mac pretty well. These guys have been together since freshmen, and they've kind of taken their lumps. They got to the first round of playoffs last year, and now they feel like they're ready to break through.
Yeah, I agree because they've been doing it the right way for the last couple of years. Coach Waddell came in there and built that program the way it needed to be built. You know what I'm saying? So going into it now, those kids are battle tested, and you got to watch out for teams like West Mac that's battle tested because they'll sneak in there and win a couple games that people didn't predict them to win. So be on the lookout for West Mac. Again, same way I said about Palisade, they're not going to lay down a rollover for anybody. Actually, in the summer, we was breaking down Coach Waddell and his staff and my staff, and we was watching the Chambers game from last year against West Mac. I mean, a couple plays here and there that it could have went the other way. So the boys are well coached, and don't sleep on them. Hey, Jamal, who do you have winning that game?
I got Olympic 23-13. Close game throughout. I just think Olympic will pull away at the end, make a couple more plays than West Mac. But I agree, it's gonna be a good physical game for the whole thing. So, but I got Olympic pulling it out.
Yeah,
shout out to Coach Hard.
So absolutely. So with this matchup, you want to watch the running back and linebacker matchups. You want to watch Beatty and Olympic running back. It's gonna be a show. Yeah, that's a good game to go to. That's a sleeper game to go to. It's going to be physical.
Absolutely. Now, where they play football in Cabarrus County also, Hickory Ridge at J.M. Robinson. I'll let the engine kind of take over as the Cabarrus County expert here.
Pep, this is a huge game. I mean, you've got Hickory Ridge, who, if we're being honest, probably underachieved last year. They were 500 just over. I think they were 6-5 last year versus J.M. Robinson, who was 10-2. Now, J.M. Robinson was 10-2 playing 2A football. Of course, Hickory Ridge is 4A. Hickory Ridge has all the big-time players, the big-time quarterback, the big-time offensive line, the big-time wide receivers. They graduated some linebackers and some other defensive secondary players that are some question marks. They're going to be young in a couple of areas. But Hickory Ridge is on the verge, as they should be, of being a really, really, really good football team once again. J.M. Robinson has had some turnover. They were 10-2 last year in the 2A ranks. They've moved up to 3A to the South Piedmont. Their numbers, I don't think have changed, but they petitioned the state to move up, and the state granted that. But they've had change at the head. D-Rob is no longer there. Coach Seidel is there. Coach Seidel, who used to be the head coach at Hickory Ridge. So there's some interesting storylines there. J.M. Robinson. They returned their quarterback, who's a 3-year guy. They have the best defensive lineman for a long ways, not just in Cabarrus County. In Debo, they've got a stud offensive line. They've got stud defensive end. They've got stud linebackers. They've got dudes all over the place. J.M. Robinson is a stout team. It's at J.M. Robinson. Last year, D-Rob liked to play a lot of guys both ways. It'll be interesting to see how Coach Seidel adjusts to that or if he does the same thing. Coach Seidel is a master at just keeping it real, man. That joker would come into a game and his first 30 plays, I'm sure were scripted because he would have 30 different formations, and he would try to find that one mismatch where you couldn't align, where your kid just couldn't figure it out, and then he would exploit you until you did. Two very well-coached football teams. They're not very far from each other. In fact, some of the kids have bounced back and forth from either school. This is an excellent football game. We talked about Independence versus Mallard Creek in Charlotte on Thursday. This is a huge football game in Cabarrus County on Friday night.
Awesome stuff right there. Now, as you said, Denaz White, what do you call him? Debo? Is that his name? Debo. Yeah, he's the key. He's my key player for J.M. Robinson.
Let's pull up this. The defensive line coach at University of Georgia last year said, Coach, he's one of the top defensive linemen in the entire nation. He flew in for their game last year versus North Stanley. He got there about an hour or two before the game started. And at halftime, he bounced because he had to catch a 9:00 flight out of Concord Regional Airport. He was there to see Debo. That's how much stock they put in this kid. He plays sideline to sideline at 300 and a lot of pounds. He is as agile as any player you'll see. He's extremely gifted. This is a huge matchup, man. This is big time.
Wow. So obviously that's the player for J.M. Robinson this week. For Hickory Ridge, I just put defense, because they graduated so many guys off of their defense last year. I mean, when I started looking at it, just looking at the roster, I was like, my goodness, it was shocking. They are very good. They're going to be awesome on offense, but I want to see how their defense
a lot of new faces, a lot of new coaches on the defensive side for Hickory Ridge as well. This is a huge battle test for both teams.
Absolutely. RG Kell at Providence. We'll speed it up a little bit because we still got a lot of big games to talk about. So this is a rival game in South Charlotte. Players to watch: RG Kell, DB Chancellor Bryant. Providence is going to the spread offense this year to kind of let their quarterback, who is their player to watch, Jackson DB, kind of throw it around and use his talent. Big-time Power 5 recruit. Has got some really big offers. They've got a couple guys to throw it to. And Kakavitsas, who was at the media day, his brother was a big-time receiver down there. Evan Kakavitsas is his first name. Cash to Pink on the offensive line, I highlighted in the CMS Best. He's going to do a good job. Interested to see who RG Kell goes with at quarterback. There have been a couple of guys kind of in the mix down there, and Adams and Ryland. And then Austin Settles as a linebacker is going to be a big key in that game as well, defensively for the Knights. It's going to be a fun game to watch down off of Providence Road. Now, Forest Hills at Ashbrook. Now, Coach Doug, you know about Ashbrook. You just went up against them, talented team. What can we expect from those guys this Friday?
Physicality. Physical. I'm going to tell you something. So, obviously, everyone knows about Trent Mitchell. He's an NC State commit. But the kid that y'all need to be knowing about is Jameer Fox, running back. Big, physical, catch out the backfield, running between the tackles. And also, you got Caleb Gordon at linebacker. Caleb, I was really impressed how physical he was. He was filling the gaps, fitting the run well. Definitely sound fundamentals. And you know you're going to get that with Coach Zeke Biggers. He's the linebacker coach over there, and the DC. So those kids were technically sound. You also had J.J. Gordon. He's actually an athlete. He plays everywhere. JJ is coming from North Gaston, but he did everything for North Gaston. It's not a position he can't play skill-wise on offense or defense. So kid can absolutely play. You got Trey Highland, and then you also got Latrowski. He's a defensive end linebacker. but I was completely impressed with their whole offense and defensive line. I think Coach James got him one this year.
Yeah, this is a really, really fun game here. You know, when you kind of dig into it, we know Forest Hills is really good. Ken, if you saw them in the playoff game last year against Shelby, what can you say about Forest Hills and how they're kind of stacking up here?
You know, Forest Hills is my sleeper 2A team, Pat. We talked about this a few weeks ago. They've got an incredible quarterback. They've got an incredible offensive line. Their defensive line is strong. Their linebackers are strong. They've got good receivers. They always have good receivers. And their coaching staff is really, really, really solid. Forest Hills is going to be an incredibly talented team. I said a few weeks ago, they're going to return to the Forest Hills of the early 1990s when they would just steamroll people, man. That's a really solid football team.
Absolutely. So players to watch. Coach, you took my Jameer Fox. He was my guy for Ashbrook because I know you told me number 9. So I looked up and I said, okay. I looked at his highlights. I said, yeah, he's real. So he's definitely one to watch for Ashbrook. And then on Forest Hills, went with quarterback Brady Hibbert. He's had a strong preseason, throwing to some talented guys in Ross Smith and Jarrell Boulder on the outside. That's gonna be a fun game to watch, man. That was on my short list, but I just I couldn't make it to Ashbrook. It's kind of far from me now, but we gotta make plans if we're gonna go that far. But that's gonna be a fun game. I'm gonna be really interested to keep up with that one. Joe Hughes right on cue. That should be a good game. The trenches will be fun to watch. Ashbrook is absolutely huge on both sides of the ball. They're always big, man. They're always big. My goodness. All right, so that's the Charlotte metro area. We went in on that one. We still got more to do because we got the best of the rest of the state with Butler and Roseville. And Friday night, what's your prediction on Butler Roseville?
I got the Butler Bulldogs 31-24 the Roseville Rams.
Well, that makes the 704 happy. For Butler, my guy to watch, defensive lineman Ian Coleman. Roseville, known for a good offense. They have Braden Atkinson at quarterback. And I was on another podcast earlier this week, and one of the things we talked about was how this kid is really accurate when he has time to throw the football. So pass rush is going to be key. Ian Coleman, one of the leaders in sacks last season, coming off the edge for Butler. He's going to be playing a very key role in trying to shut down that Roseville offense. Also, player to watch for Roseville, running back Isaiah Jones, 5'10", 190, committed to North Carolina State. Really fast, does some special things with the football in his hands. So Roseville is going to be a tough offensive team to stop. But I feel like Butler, has the advantage on the offensive line. I think they're bigger, stronger, and deeper. And that's going to be a big key for Coach Hales to keep them off balance. Conversely with Zach Lawrence, the Quadre Currents, and all those guys on the offensive side of things. So big game, fun game. Should be good stuff right there up in the Raleigh area. Now, another game, Gaffney out of South Carolina going up the Crest. There's been a lot of talk about this game if you're in a certain Facebook group.
A lot of talk about that
one. Friday night, what's your prediction on this one?
Oh, Lord, here we go.
What are you looking for?
Who's in there?
I got the Gaffney Indians 35, the Crest Chargers 28.
Okay.
All right, the 803 coming through, huh? Okay. What made you say that?
I just believe Gaffney got too much firepower, man. Even though Chris has a lot of firepower, I just believe Gaffney has a little bit more.
I think the key here is the size difference on the lines of scrimmage. Gaffney is absolutely huge. And there's my players to watch are two of those offensive linemen. I've seen both of them up close. Offensive lineman Scotland Dover, 6'4", 305. And offensive lineman Shedrick Surratt, who's 6'3", 320. You put those two together, that is about 700 pounds of force coming down on you. And that's a lot. That's a lot to handle, man. I just think Gaffney is going to wear Crest down over 4 quarters. Now, Crest is going to have some big plays led by their quarterback, Natavius Husky, and, of course, the star receiver, Javarius Green. Malachi Addison will also make some plays, but when you got that much, coming down on you for 4 quarters, man, it's tough. Gaffney's physical at the point of attack, and they're going to impose their will. And when you got a spread team that likes to get out and throw it around a little bit, your best defense is your offense and running the football and controlling the line of scrimmage. We got some comments right here. So from Joe Hughes says Gaffney brings back 3,008 yards of offensive production. I love the exactness there. Okay.
The yard.
Crest returns 95% of its production. Okay.
That's why I predicted a high scoring game.
You knew that? You knew that fact?
Oh yeah. That's why I rolled with Chris as being number 1 team in 3A. Because I knew what they had coming back.
Okay.
Right. I went to the game last year when they came over here to play Oak Grove.
Good stuff, man. I'm just gonna post this. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna post that. So we assume you're okay. Oh, Derek Howell says it won't be that close. Gaffney by a lot. Okay, well, Derek, don't go down to Cleveland County Friday night.
Listen, interesting fact. He's from Cleveland County. He actually is a Burns alum, so he knows a lot about Cleveland County. So if he says that gives me cause to pause. He knows his Cleveland County stuff.
Okay. All right. Good deal. Good deal. All right. Let's see here. Big game. Another one down at Memorial Stadium. We got Burns out of South Carolina taking on Huff at Memorial Stadium. This is the nightcap game, 7:00 on a Saturday night. When you look at this game, first I'll open it up to anyone who's got any thoughts on Burns and Huff, because I got some guys to watch here.
Because it means that I predicted Huff to win.
What was your score?
20-14.
Ooh, low scoring game. Okay. All right. Well, so for Burns, the guy to watch is athlete Armani Weaver. He's a DB and a wide receiver. He's got great speed. He's explosive with the football in his hands. And, he's going to be a problem. That's going to be a great matchup to watch because we know Huff always has a very good secondary. And my guy to watch is DB Samari Matthews, 2026 player. He just got named as a 4-star player. He's got offers from all over the nation. I've called him the best 2026 DB in the nation. He's an absolute beast at the DB spot. Opposite of him is we talked about him earlier, highlighted him, Xavier McIntyre. So we got 2 really good DBs against a very explosive Burns offense. It's gonna be a fun game to watch, man. I don't know if I'll be there in person, but I know I'm going to be watching it, whether I'm there or if I'm streaming it. By the way, it's being streamed by Bay Hackle Sports for free. If you're watching this, that's how you can, go check out the game. You don't have to depend on the Facebook Live. Be a much better viewing experience. That score prediction is interesting. I think it'll be close all the way out. There'll be a lot of talent on the field. I think we'll talk about this game here in a little bit. Just stay tuned and see what happens there. All right. Let's see. Jerron says Burns by 18. Oh, okay. Very specific numbers on the show tonight.
What's up, Lori? How you doing, bro?
Good stuff, man.
All right, by 18.
Let's see.
Trying to
Here.
figure out what that score could look like. Where it's an 18-point differential. That's a tough one to figure out. Like 21-3.
Well, I'm thinking 34-16.
38-20.
Well, you're doing some good math in your head.
35,
34-16.
17.
How did we get to 16 though? I mean, we went for
We're going for two,
twice,
man.
or-
Yeah, going for two.
Okay. All right.
Although they wouldn't, they have Nolan Hauser. You know, if it's tough with 16, that wouldn't make a lot of sense. But anyway, all right. Last game we're going to highlight is probably the biggest game in a lot of people's eyes, and you're probably wondering, are they going to talk about it? What's wrong with them? Of course, we're going to talk about it. Providence Day taking on Northwestern out of Rock Hill at Bank of America Stadium. Tickets are only $5, the same cost of the CFI Classic Jamboree. Great deal. Awesome that the Panthers are helping promote high school sports. It's the first high school game ever at Bank of America Stadium. Obviously, there's going to be talent all over the field here. But first of all, Friday night, what's your score prediction?
Actually, I didn't even have a prediction for that one, brother.
What?
You can make one now, off the top of your head. Freestyle.
I'll go with Providence Day. 34-27.
34-27 Providence Day. Okay. All right. Well, I definitely think it has the potential to be a high-scoring game. I mean, when you look at Providence Day, we can sit here and name all their guys on the offensive side of football, starting with quarterback Jaden Davis, committed to Michigan, big-time player. Feels like I've been talking about him forever. The first time I ever saw him was at 8th grade at Providence Day. Oh my gosh, I can't believe, it makes you feel old. It really makes you feel old, man. But such a special player and such a humble young man. I interviewed him exclusively a couple years ago when he was at Catawba Ridge. He's just another teenager, man. I mean, he's really a down-to-earth kid. And you love to see that because sometimes when some of these, kids get all the accolades and everything, they can kind of, get big timey, which I mean is fine, but he's definitely not that kind of kid. Jerron coming in with David Sanders. Yep, the big offensive lineman. My buddy Joe Bombo, who I do a podcast with earlier in the week, he did a great interview with Chad Greer, the Providence Day head coach. And he talked about David Sanders and how he was just a kid that he saw on campus and he was focused on basketball and he was only thinking about playing football. Never played before. He got him out there and he said he's got the potential to be an NFL left tackle. I mean, it's great stuff. And then if you haven't seen this interview, I would recommend you go check it out. Some great insight into how all the kids at Providence Day, Jordan Shipp, Channing Goodwin, Brody Barnhart, how all those guys, highly recruited guys, developed and how they came in there and they were not, heralded players. Jaden's pretty much the only one who came in with the pedigree. All those other kids worked hard and developed themselves into big-time football players. So, make sure you check that out if you haven't. He really did a good job with that. Now, on the flip side for Northwestern, they have a ton of talent too, but you guys know who I'm going to highlight. I'll give you one guess.
Turbo.
There you go. Turbo Richard has been to every CFI camp that has ever been had until he committed to Boston College. Great dynamic running back. He can receive out of the backfield really well. Humble kid. I'm so happy for him. And I'm really excited to see him in this platform on this, showcase because I think he's going to have a chance to really have a big game. Providence Day has Lucas Santweiler at linebacker, but they have a lot of their guys, go both ways. Like David Sanders, we just talked about, he'll play some defensive line. And Northwestern doesn't really have a lot of guys that go both ways. And, there were some people talking about it on the radio and saying, they feel like Northwestern is the favorite because they're going to wear down Providence Day. But I don't know, man. If I was a teenager playing at Bank of America Stadium, I'm not getting tired. I don't care. I'm too dang on fired up. Ain't no way. Kenneth, would you get tired?
I mean, that would be a pretty amazing experience.
Yeah. I think the adrenaline's going to carry it through. I think it's going to be a 4-quarter game. But I mean, it can go either way, to be honest with you.
These are the
really
first games ever in there, right?
Yeah.
Well,
It's going to be an amazing experience, man. If you don't know where to go, Saturday night and Memorial Stadium, is packed out, for whatever reason. Go to BOA, support these kids, $5, man. You can't beat it. Great stuff by the Panthers. All right. So now it is time to look at our favorite part of the show in the season. Our game predictions. They are brought to you by nobody. But it could be you. It could be you. Reach out to us if you're interested in sponsoring the prediction segment. It gets posted all over social media. Very controversial. We provide motivation to teams all across North and South Carolina. All right. Friday night, let us know what you did. So we're going to come down the line. Everyone picks a game. No scores. They just pick a winner. All right. First game, AC Reynolds at West Forsyth. Let's go with the producer. What you got?
West Forsyth.
All right. Friday night, who'd you pick?
West Forsyth.
All right. Engine.
Yeah, I just bragged on him, but I got to go the other way. AC Reynolds.
Woo! Coach Dub, who you got?
AC Reynolds.
Woo! Give me West Forsyth, baby. All right. Forest Hills at Ashbrook. I will go first. I will take Forest Hills. Engine.
Forest Hills.
Friday night, who'd you pick?
Ashbrook.
Producer.
Forest Hill.
Coach Dub.
Ashbrook.
All right. Burns Burns versus Huff at Memorial Stadium. All right. Let's go Friday night. Who'd you pick?
Huff.
All right. Producer.
Ooh, Huff.
Coach Dub.
Huff.
Engine.
Trey Blakeney becomes a household name. Huff.
Oh, y'all gonna make me. Oh, Burns. Y'all gonna put me in a locker room, man. All right. West Rowan at A.L. Brown.
Huff so much, Pep.
I hate Huff. What are you talking about? West Rowan at A.L. Brown. Engine.
The Little Wonders.
Friday night.
Wonders, baby.
Producer.
I'm going to go with Kenneth McClamrock's favorite school of all time, A.L. Brown.
Coach Dub.
A.L. Brown for me.
Oh, man. First clean sweep, A.L. Brown. All right. Let's go Wonders. All right. And the bonus. And as the bonus works, you get double wins or double losses.
It doesn't make any sense, man.
It's double wins
double losses. It's
double losses.
Right.
It's extra credit. It's a bonus.
CFI rules. Double wins
We all
or
know.
double losses.
Producer, we all know this is where Pet Man starts to.
Nah, there's Martha Stewart crap.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Shady stuff happening. This is like when you go to McDonald's and you order and they don't tell you how much it costs till you get to the window. You know you just got done wrong.
Where'd he go?
Are we picking?
All right, well, let's go ahead. Producer, start us off, man.
Opt out. Well, I guess I can't do that. I'm going to go. Where did he go, man?
I'm here. My camera went out. I don't know what's happening.
Oh. Hey, I have a question. Is this game required
Yes.
Yeah, it's a double loss if you pass.
All right, I'm gonna go Southport.
All right. Where we at? Coach Dub.
South Point.
Engine.
I'm rolling with South Point on this one.
Friday night.
Got to roll with South Point, baby.
Whew. Man, Spartanburg played Dutch Fork to a 2-point game last year. But clean sweep for the Stallions. All right. I don't know what's going on with my camera. I must have broke it in my angst.
Just avoid it. And you're a radio personality now.
So we're gonna finish the show. Thank God we're near the end. With slime time with your favorite host, not me.
You know what time it is? It's time for us to get some things off of our chest. What bothered you this week? What did you see that you didn't like? Producer Brandon, who are you sliming tonight?
I'm not gonna use all my 2023 slime on these guys, but I gotta go with the Panthers. I don't care if it was preseason. I used my hard-earned gas, drove to that game, and you couldn't give me a field goal. Could have fell on a fumble, a safety, something, nothing. They gave me a goose egg, man. And after I traveled all the way uptown for the game, man, but so I'm hoping this gives them some motivation, man. To start off the year on the slime can be hopefully motivational for a program, because I know they're watching this. I'm sure Bryce Young is watching, so you got to slime them, man. So Panthers, you slime, man. You gave me a goose egg, preseason or not. I need some more effort.
Well, Brandon, this is the most influential prep sports internet show in the entire Southeast. Their chances are great that the Panthers are watching us right now. Its chances are even greater that James Campen and Frank Reich are watching us. So if the Panthers come out and they play significantly better on Friday night, know that it was because they were slimed. Pep Man, who are you sliming on tonight?
I know y'all thought my camera was broke, but I'm back. The backup camera's on. So, oh man, there's a lot of ways I can go with this slime. Oh my goodness. But I think I'm gonna slime. I gotta go with fast food restaurants again. There's this term that's going around called shrinkflation. And what shrinkflation is they're giving you smaller portions for higher dollars. And the biggest example of shrinkflation that I've seen recently is at Cookout, where they advertise a big double burger. It gives you the impression that you're getting something that's big and doubled in size. Well, the hamburger patties that you're now getting at Cookout are probably the size of this little cap right here. And it's flat and it has no depth. That is not big and it's not double. Shrinkflation is terrible. We got to fix this, man. We got to come together as one and say, enough is enough. Give me a normal size burger at a normal size price. That's all I have to say.
Pep, I've said it before. The Cajun chicken sandwich at Cookout now is the same exact size as this Dorito. It makes no sense to me. Cookout, shrinkflation. Man, I used to be able to go to Cookout and I left full. Now I go to Cookout and I got to stop at Bojangles on the way home. It doesn't make any sense to me. Coach Dub, who are you sliming on tonight?
Well, Brandon actually took my slime, so I got to pivot and slime myself. I don't know if y'all caught it, but I thought I turned my camera off and I was eating some chicken wings. My wife came in about 8 o'clock. She went and got some Chinese food. Obviously, I know I like my chicken wings. And I've been smelling this, because this is the first show that I'm actually recording at my home. I'm usually at school, so I'm actually smelling dinner, and I'm giving her signals to bring it over. And I tried to hit stop cam, and I thought I hit it, and next thing I know, I turned as a chicken wing in my mouth on camera. So I got slime myself, and obviously, shout out to all my coaches. Y'all know I haven't ate since lunch at 12 o'clock, so we got to get it when we can. I haven't ate since then, so shout out to all my coaches. Y'all know the struggle. It's real.
The struggles of live internet shows, Coach. I feel it. Friday night, who you sliming tonight?
Man, I got to stay on the food tip, man. I got to stay on the food tip. Chick-fil-A starting to get on my nerves, man.
What?
Yes, Chick-fil-A starting to get on my nerves. Look, man, I go get my market salad, 3 ranch dressing. I need to have chicken on my salad, man. Here lately, I got more lettuce than meat. Part of the meal is the chicken. Please give me my chicken when I come in there. I go in 3 of them. I go 2 or 3 times a week. They should know what my order is. Here lately, I'm having to keep telling somebody, "Hey, man, put some chicken on my salad, man. Can y'all get that right, Chick-fil-A?" That's all I got, man.
Shrinkflation's hit Chick-fil-A too. Good night. Well, before I say mine, I just want to give a shout out. Platform Gym, man, they did these really nice shirts for Dalton Gay, the Carson player who passed away a few weeks ago. I saw this last night. I know I had to wear it tonight. But, you know, Coach Dub, on this show, we can slime the same group of people over and over and over and over again because I'm going to stick with the Carolina Panthers. I know I said earlier tonight that scrimmages don't mean anything. I know I said that coaches don't show all their stuff, but this is what I'm sick and tired of hearing from the Carolina Panthers. Oh, well, it's just a scrimmage. We wanted to be vanilla because the only thing we have going for us is no one knows what we're going to do. Can I tell you guys a secret? Every single team does the same exact thing. The New York Jets had 20 starters sitting. We had 4 of our returning offensive linemen. We had the number 1 drafted quarterback that we moved up and got rid of a stinking army for. We had all these receivers and tight ends that we brought in. We had a running back that we brought in. I don't even know if he was at the building or not. We had all of our defensive studs out there. And still, as the producer so eloquently said, we got blanked in our own house. It was 90 plus degrees out there, producer, and that's what they gave to you. We've got the richest, most expensive coaching staff in the history of the NFL. It's like they're getting paid Lionel Messi numbers out there. And we put up 0 points. The gurus of offense, the head coach guru, the offensive coordinator guru, the quarterback's coach guru. And we don't even win our battles. Well, we just wanted to see if we could win our one-on-one battles. Well, guess what? We didn't. The New York Jets backup defensive line won their battles. Bryce Young getting picked up off the butt. What are we doing out here, man? This is, I'm telling you, I've said it before. David Tepper is the worst owner in the entire NFL, bar none. And Michael Jordan, bruh, it's time for you to go. It's time for you to go coach high school football wherever the heck you're from. That's all I got, Pep.
Wow. All right. Well, we in mid-season form on slime time. Oh, producer's got it. Okay. All right. Oh, there he is. Okay. All right. We'll finish up with a couple comments right here. Friday night, Joe Hughes had a comment on your salad. Oh, no. Wait a minute. Not that one. So they gave you a tenderloin rather than the breast. Oh, man. Coach Dub, Joe Hughes said at least you didn't drizzle any sauce on your blue t-shirt.
Well, I had my wife put the sauce on it before. I kind of texted her. So it was sauce up there. Multiple sauces too.
And Nikisha said that's love. Chicken wing to the face. Oh, that's all right. That's true love right there. Talking about shrinkflation, Joe Hughes also said pick up a bag of chips. 3 portions of air and about 25 chips.
Right.
I promise.
Right.
Those are facts. That is facts.
Facts, man.
Oh man. Chat administrator slimes my camera. so what happened was there was a setting that the mouse was on and I hit it. And I didn't know I hit it, and we just had to work that out. So the camera's fine. You see, it's all good, man. It's all good. I was worried for a second. Let's see here. Terrell says Northwestern game gonna be streamed. I don't know. I haven't seen anything about it being streamed. I'm sure the Panthers probably want you to come for $5. So I don't know if it's gonna be streamed right there. Oh man, Coach Lucky. Kenneth, he's got a message for you. He says, "Chill on my Panthers."
His boy is gone, man. We can talk about the Panthers again.
Duly noted. Stephanie Reynolds. Hats off to the coaches' wives. All right.
That's my team mom, by the way. Shout out to my team mom. Hey, Stephanie, we rolling tomorrow, starting with JV.
There it is.
Team meals, 3:30.
Oh man.
What's she cooking for you guys?
Actually, we had a new parent, and she sent me a text, and I said, "Well, what is a new parent? They're new to football. They was cooking meatloaf, macaroni and cheese, and green beans." I texted her back and said, "You gonna have them kids sleep." I was just thinking.
Uncle Ted after Thanksgiving dinner over there on the couch.
I told her keep the meatloaf for the coaches, but we're gonna get the kids some chicken.
Wow. Okay. She already cooked the meatloaf?
No, she ain't cooked the meatloaf. That's what they was gonna feed us on, I think, Friday.
So you told her to just go ahead and cook the meatloaf anyway.
Yeah, of course. we'll take care of the meatloaf.
Oh man. Oh, that's funny. So for everyone watching, we do a JV game of the week, or I do a JV game of the week, and the JV game of the week is Hopewell at Palisade. So I'll be going down there tomorrow, and then I'll cut out a little early and then go down to the stadium for Independence in Mallard Creek. It has an 8:00 start time. Hopefully the weather looks good. Producer is our resident weather forecast.
Yep. I'll be on top of it.
Well, what's the weather look like?
Right now, it looks good. So unless something changes all of a sudden, we're good to go.
All right.
Low precipitation chance.
All right. That's the first time ever in history.
Usually and by the way, Pep, I picked Independence 28-25 for Mallard Creek.
Oh, okay. Cool. Let's see here. Last couple comments. Thank you, Nikisha. There will be Friday Night Live. Absolutely. It is a tradition and an institution that Friday Night Live happens at 11:45 after Friday night football games. You get home, you get settled. Friday Night Live, or we call it CFI After Dark. Sometimes it has either one. CFI After Dark can get a little weird. You know, we're a little tired, and you might see some beverages drank on the camera. We like a lot of water on the show, so we like to stay hydrated. It's a fun time. It's a fun time. About 30, 45 minutes. We go over all the scores, and we have some observations, and fans like yourselves can come in and watch and comment and share your observations, and it's a good time.
We'll let them on this year again, Pap?
Hey, we'll put them out. If you want to come on the show, we put the link out there, and you can come on the show. We've had a couple do it, and then a couple people come on, get nervous, and then they don't say anything. But you can be just like us right here, sharing your thoughts and your feelings. So, Kimalea, and am I saying that right? Kimalea Watts. Appreciate you watching. I think she picked this up from Facebook. She's got a son at Barry who's very talented. Number 11 on the D line.
I'm gonna go Kamala on that one.
Kamala?
That's what I'm going. I'm just
okay. All right, cool. Well, thank you for watching, Kamala. Oh, Kim, hey, there we go. Kim, thank you. Thank you for making it easy. Appreciate that. We'll go with that. And Joe, we not going live from the Waffle House.
We have gone live from a couple of restaurants, though.
Right. I mean, and also
that was
after the game ain't the worst sounding thing.
One time it was like in black and white. It was something weird.
Yeah, it was weird, man. It was very odd. We still did it anyway, but it was crazy. All right. Let's see here. I think that's it. So thank you everybody for watching. The numbers were awesome, off the charts. Please share this for anyone who didn't watch it live. You can share it Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. On behalf of everybody, I'm the Pet Man, Matt Morrow. If you see us at a game this week,
I'll be at West Cabarrus, Northwest Cabarrus.
Oh, nice.
I picked Northwest engine.
The show's over. Good night, everybody.
Hey, Pat, before you go, I just want to let everybody know I'll be at Mountain Island versus Cabarrus.
There it is.
I'll be
Never would have guessed that, man. I'm sure
live.
If you don't like the show, please email us.
You know, sometimes Webb gives us updates at halftime. Coach Dub, you gonna be able to give us a halftime update, or
I probably won't.
I've seen some Charlotte coaches, they go live too. In about 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
I'm gonna be asleep after that meatloaf.
Last comment of the night, meatloaf. There you go. Good night, everybody. It's time to end it.